hours in, the hard work for this. It looks so much better in person, too.
The Golden State Warriors have won 3 of the last 4 NBA titles.
We celebrated, we've had champagne, we've had rings, but this is the more motivating feeling.
Everybody thinks it's the end of us. I don't see it happening, though. We'll be back.
Since the 2019 finals, got hit with a lot of adversity and speed bumps, but never lost the faith that we could get back here.
Curry along 3. That's good! The Dubs dynasty is still very much alive. They're on top of the NBA world.
I'm so proud of our group. You hit rock bottom with injuries, and to get back here and get it done means the world.
Champs, baby! What are they gonna say now?
Congrats to the champs. Golden again, gold-blooded, if you will. They win Game 6 to win the series 4-2 for Golden State. Their 4th title over the last 8 seasons and the 7th overall for that franchise. It breaks a tie with the Bulls for the 3rd most titles all time. Only the Celtics and Lakers have more with 17 apiece. As for Steph Curry, he won his first NBA Finals MVP, and no doubt it was worth the wait. At 34 years and 94 days old, he became the 2nd oldest first-time Finals MVP, only behind Wilt Chamberlain, who won his first at 35. It was also the 4th title for the Dubs' decorated trio of Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. That ties the Spurs' Tim Duncan, Monty Ginobili, and Tony Parker for the most titles by an all-NBA trio over the last 50 seasons. And as for Steve Kerr, his 9th title overall. He had 5 as a player. He's the 6th to win 4 titles as a head coach and the 7th to win 9 titles as a player and a coach. We're joined now by the incomparable Michael Wilbon here on SportsCenter. I don't know, Mike, I know we're doing a lot of retrospecting right now. I guess I'm of the ilk that Steph's previous championships and contributions to the league were not only well documented, but already career-defining enough. Why does it feel like this one has somehow cemented his legacy to the broader public?
Well, El, I'm with you. I already thought that Steph's place in history was already secured to me. And by the way, on this network, I've been covering more of that historically. I'm old than anybody else who's going to be on this network, and that would include my dear friend Stephen A. Smith. Stephen Curry's legacy is set. Does it look better on the resume to have a MVP of the NBA Finals? Of course it does. But he's already the greatest shooter ever. He's already one of the greatest players ever. He is a guy who has changed the industry. He changed it with his shooting, his charisma, his just the ability to be loved. How about lovability? Can I say that?
Yes.
Look, I got a 14-year-old. I know that Steph Curry years ago changed the way all the kids in the back of my SUV that I'm driving to games for the last 10 years, Steph Curry changed the way all of them see basketball, at least a generation, maybe more. But Steph himself said last night, and I know you heard this, he said it felt different. So it mattered to him. And if it matters to Steph, I think that makes it worthy. But am I sitting here today thinking that Steph Curry's a different animal because he won MVP and another title? I don't. His greatness was already cemented in my mind.
I agree with you. And to your point, I think with the young people, Steph has given them a reason to believe that any 6-foot skinny kid from what's-his-name could actually play in the NBA. He's given them that kind of irrational confidence, which is unparalleled. I know that we've seen a version of this Warriors team already go on a dynasty. Do you think that this version of this team could go for a dynastic run?
It's going to be hard as they get older. And we look at injuries. And the Warriors have endured enough, El, as you know. I mean, you would hope that Steph and Klay and Draymond and whoever the cast surrounding them will be would be able to stay healthy because they lost 2 years to injuries, serious ones. But it's just, we look at the league and the way it's going and the number of missed games. It's difficult. And also, the league has teams that are coming. And I don't just mean over in the Eastern Conference. They only got to beat one of them. But the Dallas Mavericks are anxious to surround their young superstar, Luka Doncic. I'm wondering about the Phoenix Suns and, what sort of urgency they're going to feel after just sort of getting thumped this year in the postseason. I got to think they're going to come back with a vengeance. There are a lot of teams out there. Do I put the Warriors at the top of that heap? Absolutely, yes. We just saw it. We were reminded of it. But this is hard. That's why winning this fourth one, that's why maybe Steph says, maybe that's the primary reason when he says it feels different, because they had to stay the course. They got knocked down the hill, climbed back up the hill, and claimed it again. So maybe all of us who were saying, wait a minute, you know, they were already great. Maybe this does make them greater. And with that in mind, man, maybe they will go on a second run. It'd be interesting to see. But they're going to have, plenty of teams, worthy opponents shooting at them. How long can they stay up there? This is a really fun thing to watch now. And I think the Warriors will have less pressure, actually. I think they'll come into this saying, really, I loved it when Draymond said last night, he called it the Warrior Invitational. I thought that was a great phrase, and it sort of sets up everybody to say, hey, we're the Kings. What do you got? Come on, we'll take your best. And I think that's maybe the first time we've seen that since, I guess, Shaq and Kobe. I was going to go back to Michael and Scottie. But we're seeing it now. And so bring it on. It'll be a great thing for those of us who cover the league to see in full next season.
Exactly. There's another team, right? A young team that feels like they were a John Morant injury away from being where the Warriors were instead, right? In Memphis. To the victor go the spoils, and obviously the bulk of the attention and conversation. But I do want to very quickly mention the Celtics. Mike, how should the Celtics view what happened to them in the finals?
They need to view it as just a evolutionary step, a step in the process. They're not as good as Golden State. They're not yet. And, you know, there's no guarantee you're going to get there just because you were close. Ask the Phoenix Suns. I mean, being close doesn't mean you're going to sort of take that next step automatically a season from now. And they got some tinkering to do. Look, Jason Tatum, who I know is catching it now from people who want to be highly critical, Jason Tatum's a hell of a player. And any coach out there who says he wouldn't want Jason Tatum would be lying. Any franchise GM executive who says, yeah, we wouldn't need Jason Tatum, that's a lie. You'd want those guys. You want Jaylen Brown. I'm telling you what, I wondered last night as we were watching in that arena if Marcus Smart is still going to be there. The one thing, and it's not Marcus Smart's fault, as a Bulls fan, I would take Marcus Smart right now and figure out the rest. But they don't have a natural, instinctive point guard, an organizer of offense who has the ball, who keeps Jason Tatum from committing a historic number of turnovers in the NBA playoffs. They don't really have that guy. Maybe that's too much to expect of Marcus Smart, as great as he is, Defensive Player of the Year that he is. Will they have to tinker with that spot? It's a question. I don't have any sourcing saying they're going to get rid of him. But I'm wondering, what are they going to do? Because Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, yes, I would think they're going to stay together. They need help in that regard. That may be the finishing step. Maybe it'll be something else for the Boston Celtics. But who in the East right now would I pick over the Boston Celtics to get back to the finals next year? Maybe Milwaukee, not Brooklyn. I'm not buying that. I'm not. You're not selling me that again, the Brooklyn. You didn't sell it to me this year. So I'm sorry for all my colleagues who kept thinking, oh, the Brooklyn Nets have to win. No, they don't. I'll take the Celtics right now, and I'll take Milwaukee, and I'll take both of them over the Nets going into this next season.
Listen, I know Boston's not one for like moral victories, but again, when they were how many games under 500 in January, nobody foresaw them being at this point, especially with their rookie coach. So they'll certainly be back in this position. It stands to reason. Mike Wilbon, happy Father's Day. Moral victory, you get to spend it at home now.
Oh, thank you. Amazing. That doesn't happen with a Game 7, so I'm grateful.
Go Dubs.
Still to come on SportsCenter, how Steph Curry's fourth NBA